Good morning, dear students. Let us discuss about kinetic energy and work energy theorem. What is kinetic energy? It is nothing but the energy possessed by the particle by virtue of its motion. Suppose F is the force acting on the particle of mass m and it produces an acceleration a. We know that it is the rate of change of velocity. So a is equal to dv by dt. So from the Newton's law of motion, we know that the force F is equal to m into dv by dt. So the amount of work done is given by W is equal to integral F dot dr. So what is F? F is nothing but, we are going to substitute for F. F is nothing but m into dv by dt dot dr. So what is dr? Dr is equal to dr by dt into dt. So this dt cancel. So you will get the answer as dr. So dr can be written as dr by dt into dt. What is dr by dt? It is velocity. The rate of change of position is known as the velocity. So dr can be written as v dt. So dr is equal to v dt. So dv by dt dot dr can be written as dv by dt dot what is dr? v dt. So it is v dt. So we can substitute for this dv by dt dot dr as dv by dt dot v dt. So we write w as m into dv by dt dot v dt. Our aim is to find out a relation connecting W and kinetic energy. We are going to a relation connecting work done and kinetic energy. For that purpose, we are doing this type of calculus. Here, we know that we are starting from Newton's law of equation and we write the equation for work done. From the equation for work done, we are rearranging the terms in order to get an expression for work done in terms of kinetic energy. Okay, so when we substitute for dr as v dt, you will get an expression for work done as W is equal to, since m is a constant, because we are dealing with non-relativistic cases, m will not change with velocity, so we can take m is a constant, so we can take m outside. So W is equal to m into integral a to b dv by dt dot, instead of dr we are writing v dt. So we are writing this expression in another term. Dt of v dot v is given by, from the distributive law, v dv by dt plus dv by dt dot v. So this is the differentiation of v dot d, because v dot v is a scalar quantity. Dot product of two vectors is a scalar quantity. We can differentiate this equation as d by dt of v dot v is equal to first v dot dv by dt plus dv by dt dot v. First we differentiate make first term as constant, then differentiate the second term, then make the second term as a constant and differentiate the first term. So you will get this as 2 into dv by dt dot v, since the dot product is commutative. Okay, so you will get the expression as, what is dv by dt dot v? This is the quantity we need. Okay, so here we know that this is dv by dt dot v. So we need an expression in terms of v square. Okay, we are going to substitute this term in terms of v square. So what is dv by dt dot v? This 2 will be in the denominator of this right hand side. So this expression will become dv by dt dot v is equal to half into d by dt of v dot v. So we will substitute for dv by dt dot v as half into d by dt of v dot v. We know that v dot v is nothing but v square. So the expression for work done will become W is equal to half m into integral d by dt of v dot v into dt. Okay. So this can be written as half m into this dt get cancelled, d into v dot v. So you will get an expression as half m into integral d into v dot v is v square. So v square. So this, what is integral of the differential? This get cancelled. This become, when you integrate the differential, this become v square. So you will get the expression as half m into v square between the limit a and b. So the work done is given by half m into vb square minus va square. B is the upper limit and a is the lower limit. We are taking an object from a to b, and the work done is given by the change in kinetic energy. So W is equal to integral a dot b f dot dr is given by half m vb square minus half m va square. So from this expression it is clear that the work done on a free particle depends only upon its initial and final position, or its. So the work done on a free particle depends only upon its initial and final velocities and independent of the nature of the force and the path followed by the force. Okay, so the work done is given by change in kinetic energy. So from this expression, W is equal to integral a to b f dot dr, that is equal to half m vb square minus half a va square, that is change in kinetic energy. So thus the work done by a force on a particle is equal to change in its kinetic energy, and this is known as the work energy theorem. So work energy theorem is nothing but the work done by a force on a particle is equal to change in its kinetic energy. Is work done by an external force is equal to the change in its kinetic energy, and this is known as the work energy theorem. Okay, let us discuss about the conservative force. Before discussing about conservative force, we can understand the nature of conservative force. Okay, in this is three figures A, B and C. Here we are taking an object from A to B against gravity in a vertical path. Suppose we are doing some work against gravity and we take an object from A to B. In this figure also we are taking an object from A to B, but we are doing in this path. Okay, here we are doing some work in horizontal path, then in vertical path, then again in horizontal and vertical, and we are taking the object from A to B in this way. Okay, so this is the height. Here also we are taking an object from A to B. Displacement happened to this object is same as in the case A and B. Here we are taking an object from A to B through this path, but the height traveled is same as h. Okay, so let us see the three different ways in which an object moving from A to B. In the first case, since the object is moving vertically upward, what is the work done? Work is nothing but F dot the displacement, F dot d. Here F, we are doing work against the gravity, so the force here is equal to the gravity mg and the displacement is h. So the work done in the first case is mgh, because we are doing work against the gravity to take an object from A to B. So the force is equal to the gravitational force, that is mg, and the displacement happened to the body is h. So the work done to take a body from A to B is equal to mgh in the first case. In second case, the object is moving along a series of vertical and horizontal path. This is vertical, this is horizontal, this is vertical, this is horizontal. Okay. During the vertical path, the work done is mg into, suppose this is the small vertical path, suppose the displacement happened to is mg into x1. And during the horizontal path, what is the work done? Because gravitational force is acting in the downward direction and the particle is moving in the horizontal plane. Okay, the angle between them is 90 degrees, so the work done is 0 during the horizontal displacement. So the work done against gravity is 0 during the horizontal work done. So in that case, the work done is 0. So then the next case, that is we are taking an object in the vertical path. Suppose this is x2. So here the work done is mg into x2. So in this path, horizontal path, work done is 0. In the vertical path, suppose this is small work done x3. And when we sum up all the work done from A to B, you will get mg into x1 plus x2 plus x3 plus x4 plus etc. 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 So you sum up the x1, x2, x3, x4, you will get h. So the work done is nothing but mgh. So here the object is being moved along the series of vertical and horizontal path. No work is done along the horizontal path. Since the force and the displacement are perpendicular to each other, hence the total work done for an object to move from A to B is equal to the sum of work done along the vertical path, and it is again equal to mgh. As we discussed, this object is moving along an inclined plane of length l, and the angle of inclination is theta. So this is angle of inclination theta. So the object is moving from here to here. Okay, this is the figure. So this is the figure, or this is the figure. Here, this is the angle theta. Okay, angle between horizontal plane and the inclined plane is theta. If the angle between the horizontal plane and the inclined plane is theta, then the angle between normal to the horizontal plane and the inclined plane, normal to the inclined plane, is also theta. So if the angle between the horizontal plane and the inclined plane is theta, then the angle between the normal to the horizontal plane, that is this is normal to the horizontal plane, okay, and normal to the inclined plane. Suppose this is normal to the inclined plane, this line is normal to the inclined plane, so this angle is theta. Okay, so this angle is theta. Okay, so you will get theta is this angle. So if theta is this angle, what is this? Is the gravitational direction of gravitational force mg. So mg. So this is mg. If this is theta, what is this? This is mg cos theta and this is mg sin theta. Okay. So this is mg cos theta and this mg sin theta. So here this is the path of the object. So the particle is moving from A to B through this length. Okay, so force acting in the inclined plane is nothing but mg sin theta. Okay, so the work done will be mg sin theta into this distance. This is the length L. Here this is the length L. Here from this to this is the length L. So the work done is nothing but mg sin theta into L. So what is sin theta here? Suppose this is a right angle triangle. This is H and this is L. What is sin theta? Sin theta is nothing but H by L. Okay. So here in this case, work done is equal to mg sin theta into L. Sin theta is nothing but H by L. So the work done is equal to mg into H by L into L. This L and L cancel, so mgh. Hence, we find that the work done in moving an object against gravity depends only on the initial and final position of the object and not on the path followed. The gravitational force is referred to as a conservative force. So this type of force is known as conservative force. So gravitational force is an example of conservative force. Here the work done will depends upon the initial and final position. Okay. So, and also in the case of a gravitational force or in the case of a conservative force, the work done is stored in a form of energy, and that type of energy is known as the potential energy. So that type of force is known as the conservative force. So in a conservative force field, work done is stored as the potential energy of the object. Let us discuss the other properties of the conservative force field in our next class. Okay, thank you.